The story begins in a world called Earthclear, which is a magical land of swords, sorcery, and beasts. In this world, everyone has their own stat menu, which they can use to view and improve their level and personal talents. One of these people is Koji, an ordinary young man counting his earnings under a tree. Suddenly, he hears the shout of a little boy getting attacked by a slime monster. As the poor boy and his dad think they're doomed, out of nowhere, a coin shoots out and completely obliterates the slime, which explodes into a bunch of coins after its defeat. Koji comes out to check on the scared father and son. Both of them are shocked, since common people like them have no chance of defeating monsters, but Koji doesn't answer their question immediately. Instead, he gives the boy some gold coins, explaining that a slime gives 100 bronze coins upon death. Koji thinks that monsters are a great way of farming infinite money, but the young boy doesn't agree, since he thinks it's too dangerous to hunt them. Koji understands the boy's feelings and starts to leave, but he stops after the boy asks if he has the hero class. To answer his question, Koji simply displays his status window to Aura Farm, which shows his class and rank as a level 999 villager. In Koji's world, the country of Japan has long transformed into a nation called Hexandria. Sometime in the past, magical monsters appeared in the nation, while people started receiving special talents called classes at birth. Usually, people are born as a warrior, monk, thief, hunter, and sorcerer, but some exceptional geniuses may have a sage, hero, or king talent with incredibly powerful abilities. Any person born without these gifted talents is called a villager, which is the weakest class of them all. Although villagers usually remain between level 1 and 10, with no hope of defeating even the weakest monster, Koji somehow found a way to far surpass this limit. While he walks along his path, elsewhere, a hooded little girl reaches the exterior of an ancient cavern, which is rumored to hold the legendary sacred sword inside. Meanwhile, Koji reaches the city of Valmon, where he walks towards the local adventurers guild. In the same city, the hero of the nation, along with his partner, both prepare to set out on their journey to purge the world of all the monsters plaguing it. Inside the guild, Koji hands over the materials for his quests to the receptionist, who gives him a reward of 5 gold coins. Hearing this, all the nearby adventurers are stunned, since it would require a huge amount of monsters to earn so much money in one go. Naturally, Koji continues aura farming and silently checks out the quest board, noting that he still needs to make over 4,500 gold for a personal goal. While checking the quest, he notices one of them offering easy gold coins for monsters from the ancient cavern, so he grins and prepares to work hard for the day. Outside the guild, the young hero, Rex, rallies all the townsfolk with a heartfelt speech. He reminds everyone of the imminent threat of monsters around them, causing the kingdom's capital to send all their warriors on dangerous quests just to fend them off. The hero points out that unless they treat the root cause of the issue, the monsters will swallow them all eventually. In reality, all fantastical monsters are produced by mana, which is a special substance released by the demon race. In the hero's eyes, the demon race, led by the demon king, is the true reason that the humans are suffering from monster attacks, as Rex boldly declares that the demon race should be exterminated. Koji hears his words while getting ice cream from a nearby stall. Meanwhile, Rex asks the crowd for any brave warriors willing to join his cause. Watching the talented young hero and the beautiful sage standing by his side, the adventurers' crowd goes wild as many of them try to join them. One of them, an experienced warrior at level 86, offers to lend the hero his aid. Surprisingly, Rex coldly refuses the man's offer, saying that he doesn't need dead weights who can't contribute to his cause. The adventurers are outraged by his arrogant claim, so he silences them all by displaying his impressive level 90 hero status. Then, the warrior asks Rex if the sage next to him is qualified, since she is only at level 42. Rex explains that despite her lower level, his partner sage has excellent support capabilities due to her powerful class, so she is more than qualified to fight with him. In addition, he also reveals that she's King Simon's third daughter, Princess Krull, so she has accepted her destiny to fight for the nation's cause. Though the crowd is silenced by the hero's logic, a level 80 priest still tries to join him. Rex still refuses, pointing out that the priest is too old, so he doesn't want him to get hurt along the journey. After the old priest, a younger priest at an impressive level 70 asks if he can join, but Rex claims that he doesn't have the potential to get stronger in the future. Facing his strange rejections, dungeons. The adventurers grow restless, and an insecure young girl called Tina wonders if she can join. Since she's only a level 50 priestess, the crowd thinks there's no way, but Rex instantly accepts her into his party, proving that he's simply a pervert, not a righteous savior. Watching the scene from a distance, Koji figures that this young hero is simply trying to make a name for himself by surrounding himself with beautiful women and gaining the prestige of defeating the Demon Lord. Then, after another beautiful girl steps up to join Rex, Koji leaves, losing interest in their ambitions. Sometime later, he arrives outside the entrance of the cave, hoping to get a luxurious sushi dinner after returning home with the bounty. After a short while, he encounters the first blue devil inside. Despite the monster's ferocious strength, Koji defeats it with a single blow and starts gathering the money like it's a house chore. He proceeds to demolish a few more blue devils, one of whom drops its horn, which is a precious, rare item. Although the horn emits powerful mana like the demon race, Koji doesn't understand why it sells for so much. As he tries to complete his quest goal of defeating 30 blue devils, he runs into the hero's party along the way. The party encounters a blue devil, which Rex easily kills with a single slash of his sword. The girls behind him are impressed, but Tina notices Koji's presence behind them, so he quickly hides behind a wall, wanting to avoid the arrogant hero. Meanwhile, Princess Krull is eager to move forward, so her teammate, the mage, Parna, teases her for the enthusiasm. The princess is pleasantly surprised by her casual treatment, since people usually treat her distantly, so Tina also asks if she can be on good terms with her. As the princess nods, Parna asks Rex why they're visiting the ancient cavern, since the Demon Lord's palace is in another direction. The hero explains that they're here to obtain a special item, which can only be found after following the strange crests hidden in the dungeon's maze. However, only the royal family knows this secret, so Rex is using Krull's help to track the treasure down. At the end of the maze, he reveals that a sacred sword is hidden at an altar, which can only be equipped by a hero of level 90 or higher. Hearing this, the two other girls are shocked, but Parna wonders why the kingdom didn't just use the sacred sword earlier to defeat the Demon Lord. Rex explains that although a level 90 hero can use the sword, it does not mean that he can immediately master it and defeat the Demon Lord, so the kingdom kept it hidden for a worthy user. Now, since the king's precious daughter is following the hero in a dangerous quest, he immediately agreed to let him use the sacred sword for her protection. After his explanation, Rex turns around, filled with confidence. He believes that he's destined to become the savior of humanity once and for all with the legendary weapon, and the girls look forward to their exciting journey in the future. Elsewhere in the cavern, the hooded little girl from earlier continues her search, failing to realize that her demon horns are exposed for anyone to see. Meanwhile, Koji finds himself surrounded by a pack of blue devils, which he effortlessly takes out in an instant. After defeating the devils, he notices that there are many more monsters than usual in the cavern's depths. Soon, the hooded girl runs past him, so Koji warns her about the blue devils. However, the dangerous monsters remain completely passive with the girl, and they allow her to pass them safely. Koji defeats the devils, but he feels more interested in the mysterious young girl who just left, somewhere else in the dungeon. The hero's party starts to get overwhelmed by the onslaught of the blue devils. Parna thinks it's normal to be so winded since the cavern is a dangerous dungeon, but Rex thinks these numbers are completely abnormal. Tina heals the princess before moving to heal Rex, but she warns him that she's running out of mana. The poor girl apologizes for her pitiful stamina, feeling impressed that Parna could survive those monsters without a single scratch. Parna winks, pointing out that she is very experienced with stronger dungeons. Behind them, the princess feels guilty for being the weak link, but Rex comforts her and reminds everyone that they've reached the sacred sword's location. However, when they go inside, they find the strange hooded girl at the sword's location. Princess Krull notes that this girl is radiating immense amounts of mana, so everyone grows hostile, thinking she's a demon. Rex finally realizes that all the monsters in the dungeon were attracted to this girl's mana. More importantly, he sees that the sword is missing, so he accuses the girl of stealing it. The girl claims that the sword was missing before she arrived, but Rex refuses to believe her. Even against a child, the hero's party decides to have no mercy. Led by the hero, they all attack the helpless little girl, who closes her eyes in fear. Nobody notices that before the attacks can hit, a blazing fast shadow arrives by the girl's side. As the smoke clears from the attack's explosion, the party is shocked shocked to see the girl completely unharmed with Koji standing by her side. He scolds the party for attacking a child, while Rex feels shocked by his incredible strength. He asks Koji what his class is, so Koji simply claims that he is an ordinary villager. Rex doesn't believe him, thinking he used a magic item to block the attacks. However, Koji reassures him that he blocked it on his own, and he even displays his status window. The princess accepts his word, but then she asks why he was sheltering a demon from them. This throws him into a panic, but Koji claims that the girl is just his little sister, who is wearing the demon horns as a fashion accessory. Everyone is shocked by this, but Koji shows them his adventurer's quest, explaining that he was simply hunting monsters with his sister. He also shows them the devil horns, which radiate mana similar to demons, so the hero's party reluctantly believes him. Still, despite accepting this flimsy explanation, Rex asks him why the sacred sword is missing from its spot. Koji is confused for a second, but then he recalls that he just stumbled upon the sword one day and sold it for some coins. Hearing this, Rex is outraged, and he tells Koji that the sword belonged to the royal family. Koji acts like he had no idea, and he starts apologizing. However, Rex asks him how he pulled out the sword in the first place, since it was only meant for level 90 heroes to wield. Koji understands his confusion, so he turns around and places his hands on the giant swordstone. In front of their shocked eyes, he easily lifts up the heavy platform, proving his strength without a single word. Rex wonders what level he is, so he finally shows them his ridiculous level 999 rank. The hero refuses to believe he could reach such a ridiculous level, especially since he himself has fought an incredible amount of monsters. However, Kral asks Koji how he'll repay her since he sold off a priceless item from the royal family. She wonders if he will join their party to defeat the demon lord, but he instantly refuses. Rex thinks that Koji is fumbling the bag, since he could easily defeat the demon lord on his own. Koji doesn't care about his ambitions, saying that his only purpose in life is to just make money and survive. He points out that the demon lord never hurt him, so he won't fight him without a reason. While the little girl is surprised, Princess Kroll wonders if the promise of riches and glory is not enough to move his heart. Koji shakes his head, so the princess offers to marry him if he defeats the demon lord for the sake of their suffering people. As Rex begins to protest, Koji refuses Kroll's generous offer without hesitation. Although he doesn't think that the hero's party is evil, he tells them that he's completely uninterested in worldly fame and achievements. Koji also thinks that the princess is being hypocritical by ignoring the suffering of others. After saying this, he starts leaving with the little girl, but stops right beside the hero, Rex. In an ominous tone, Koji warns him that he has no idea how their world truly works. After delivering his warning, he leaves the cavern with the little girl. Once they are outside, Koji begins parting ways with her, but suddenly, she asks him to marry her. Koji immediately tells the girl that there is no chance he is going to marry her, then turns around and walks away. The girl quickly runs after him and keeps trying to change his mind. Koji tells her that he has no interest in marrying someone so young. He explains that he prefers older, more mature women with hourglass figures. The girl refuses to give up. She says it does not have to happen today. She is willing to wait 3 years or even longer if she has to. All she wants is for Koji to promise that he will marry her someday. Ignoring that request for now, Koji asks why she wanted the sacred sword in the first place. The girl explains that her father has become seriously ill. She believed that if a hero obtained the sacred sword, they might end up killing him. Koji hears that and assumes her father must be someone very important if heroes are after him. Curious, he asks who her father is. The girl nervously admits that she is actually the daughter of the Demon King. Koji is surprised by her answer. He casually says that he has run into the Demon King several times in the past. The girl is shocked to hear that. She wonders if that is the reason Koji refused the request to defeat the Demon King. However, Koji says that is not the reason at all. He honestly believes killing the Demon King would not solve anything or make the world a better place. Koji understands that the mana produced by demon horns is what creates monsters, and those monsters naturally attack humans. Because of that, humans already have a reason to fear and hate demons, even if the demons themselves do nothing wrong. The girl says she already knows all of that. Even so, her dream is to create a world where humans and demons can live together in peace. Koji bluntly tells her that her dream is impossible. As long as demons continue producing monsters, humans humans will never be willing to coexist with them. After hearing that, the girl asks why Koji does not want to kill demons like everyone else. Koji simply replies that he thinks the entire conflict is stupid. After saying that, he continues walking away. Meanwhile, Rex and the rest of his party are still frustrated that Koji showed up out of nowhere and completely ruined their plans. Kroll suggests returning to Valmon so they can rethink their strategy. Rex, however, cannot stop thinking about Koji's final words. Before leaving, Koji told him that he understood nothing about how the world really works. Rex is unsure whether Koji was hiding some important truth, but one thing is clear to him: he needs to become much stronger. Meanwhile, Koji notices that the girl is still following him. He reminds her once again that he has no intention of marrying a child like her. The girl quickly says that is not why she is following him anymore. Instead, she asks if he could buy something for her. That finally gets Koji's attention. She explains that she is looking for a medicine called the Spirit's Blessing Potion because she heard it is sold in this town. She proudly says that she has already saved up 500 silver coins and only needs Koji's help to buy it. Koji immediately tells her that 500 silver is nowhere near enough. The Spirit's Blessing Potion actually costs 10 gold coins. After telling her that, he says she should just give up and head home. Just before Koji walks away again, the girl asks if he could lend her the rest of the money. She explains that she has to save her father. If the Demon King dies, she believes humans will immediately begin hunting down the remaining demons as well. Koji tells her that saving her father this one time will not change anything. Humans will simply continue hunting him down until they eventually succeed. Koji assumes she must hate humans because of that. Instead, the girl quietly says that she does not hate them. She believes hatred will never solve anything. She then says that she has made it her lifelong goal to create a future where humans and demons can truly live together in peace. Hearing those words changes Koji's mind. He decides to buy the potion for her after all. Before they leave, Koji walks over to her and wraps a special cloth around her horns. He explains that the cloth changes the mana coming from her horns, allowing it to hide them completely. With the cloth wrapped around them, her horns are concealed, making her look just like a normal human. The girl happily thanks him for helping her. Koji then asks for her name. She introduces herself as Alice, and after that, the two of them leave the forest together. They soon arrive in town, and Alice is amazed by everything she sees, since this is her first time visiting a human town. Every building and every street catches her attention. One of the shopkeepers quickly realizes it is her first visit. Smiling warmly, he gives her a free apple and tells her to come back again whenever she visits. As Koji and Alice continue walking through the busy streets, Alice asks how much the apple normally costs. Koji tells her it costs 150 bronze coins. Hearing that makes Alice remember how the currency works. 10,000 bronze coins are equal to 1 silver coin, while 10,000 silver coins are worth a single gold coin. Koji also reminds her that the Spirit's Blessing Potion is famous as an all-purpose medicine that can cure almost anything. After hearing the actual price, Alice realizes just how unrealistic her plan had been. She now understands that thinking she could buy such a valuable potion with only 500 silver coins was incredibly optimistic. As night falls, the two of them stop at an inn to rest for the evening. Alice lies down on the bed and is amazed by how soft and comfortable it feels. Since she has never stayed at an inn before, she cannot hide her excitement. Meanwhile, Koji packs his bag and gets ready to head back outside. Before leaving, he tells Alice to stay in the room because he is going to buy the Spirit's Blessing Potion. He also explains that he plans to meet up with a friend since they will need one more person to continue the rest of their journey. Koji explains that they will probably run into adventurers who will try to attack Alice during the journey. Because of that, they need someone who can protect her while he focuses on fighting. After explaining the plan, he heads out and tells Alice to lock the door behind him and not let anyone else into the room. Meanwhile, high above the clouds, a frightening demon stands on top of a giant flying bird. With a crazed look in his eye, he quietly mutters that all humans should tremble in fear. A little while later, Alice hears someone knocking on the door. Thinking Koji has returned, she quickly opens it. Instead, she finds herself staring at a huge musclehead. The sight frightens her so much that she immediately freezes in fear. Just then, Koji steps out from behind the large figure and tells Alice that this is the friend he mentioned earlier. The three of them sit down together for some tea, and Koji introduces Alice this to his friend, Takako. Takako explains that he is a level 124 monk, even though he probably does not look like what Alice expected a monk to be. He also says that Koji already told her everything about Alice's situation, and he promises to do everything she can to keep her safe. Takako admits that he once believed every demon deserved to be killed without exception. However, that way of thinking completely changed after he was badly injured in the forest one day. Instead of attacking him, a demon chose to save his life. After that day, Takako quit being an adventurer and decided to live a peaceful life instead. He now spends his time running a bar and a club in town. Wanting to get along with Alice, Takako suggests that the two of them go take a bath together. Alice immediately becomes nervous because she thinks it would be awkward to bathe with a man. Koji quickly clears up the misunderstanding by explaining that Takako is actually a woman. Alice is left completely speechless. She says Takako's chest is as firm as any man's would be, making it hard to believe she is female. Koji casually explains that Takako trained so hard that she burned away all of her breast fat and turned it into muscle. Takako clearly does not appreciate the way he described it. Without warning, she lands a powerful roundhouse kick on Koji, making it obvious that she does not enjoy talking about that subject. A little later, Alice and Takako walk toward the hot spring together. Along the way, Alice points out that Koji is level 999, yet Takako still managed to hurt him with her kick. Takako explains that monks naturally possess about 3 times the physical strength of an ordinary villager. Even so, she admits that she is nowhere near Koji's level and would never stand a chance against him in a real fight. Curious, Alice asks how Koji became so unbelievably strong. Takako guesses that Koji simply spent his childhood fighting countless monsters, which allowed him to keep growing stronger. Even after hearing that explanation, Alice still cannot understand how anyone could possibly reach level 999. Seeing the worried look on Alice's face, Takako assumes she is afraid someone else might one day become just as powerful. Takako reassures her that nobody besides Koji could ever reach that level because he is missing something that every other living person possesses. Alice immediately asks what that mysterious thing is. Takako simply smiles and tells her that she will find out soon enough if she keeps traveling with them. Suddenly, loud crashing noises echo through the town. Everyone looks up and realizes that wild boars are literally falling from the sky. The demon from earlier is the one dropping them from his giant bird. He loudly announces that this is a declaration of war and proclaims that the Demon King's army has officially begun its all-out assault against humanity. The bloody buffers immediately begin rampaging through the streets, attacking innocent civilians. Watching the chaos unfold, Alice sadly realizes that this only pushes humans and demons even farther away from ever living together peacefully. Koji wastes no time reacting. Instead of attacking with magic, he starts grabbing the wild boars one after another and throws them high into the sky. He figures he can collect their mana stones later and earn a nice reward from the Adventurers Guild. The demon notices what is happening and stares in disbelief. He cannot understand who could possibly be strong enough to throw giant monsters through the air so effortlessly. A short time later, Rex and the rest of his party arrive at the scene. Rex immediately shows off his strength by firing a powerful lightning spell that destroys one of the giant birds before it can release another bloody buffer. As he prepares to fire another spell, his attack is suddenly blocked by one of the boars that Koji had thrown into the air. The moment Krull notices Koji, she becomes visibly annoyed. She immediately assumes he must have been working with the Demon King all along. Koji calmly tells her that she is completely wrong. He then points out how terrible their strategy is. If they keep firing powerful attacks at enemies one by one, any missed attack could fall back down and accidentally kill innocent civilians. To make his point even clearer, Koji lightly taps Krull on the head while reminding her that the plan is terrible. Hearing that, Rex and the others suddenly realize something important. Koji has been throwing the boars with his own strength instead of attacking them with magic. That can only mean one thing, that Koji cannot use magic at all. Alice and Takako arrive shortly afterward, and Alice is shocked when she learns that someone as powerful as Koji does not possess any magic. Meanwhile, the demon continues shouting from the sky, declaring that resistance is meaningless because nobody can escape the Demon King's army. Koji turns toward Alice and asks if she recognizes the demon leading the attack. Alice says she believes his name is Menno. He is one of the Demon King's King's trusted dignitaries, and his family has served the Demon King for generations. Kroll then walks over to Koji and formally introduces herself. She explains that after seeing how powerful he is, she came up with a plan to display humanity's strength so the demons would know better than to challenge them. Koji immediately says that the idea is incredibly stupid. He explains that revealing all of their strongest fighters is the worst thing they could do. If the Demon King is launching attacks across the entire world, then he is probably trying to identify the strongest places to invade first. Koji also says they need to learn exactly what the Demon King is trying to accomplish before making any big decisions. Because of that, he decides that speaking directly with Menno is the best option. Without another word, Koji suddenly leaps high into the sky, completely shocking everyone watching below. Takako quickly jumps after him and uses her legs to kick him even higher, launching him the rest of the way through the air. A few moments later, Koji lands directly on top of the giant bird in front of Menno. Menno stares at him in complete disbelief and asks who he is. Koji calmly introduces himself as nothing more than a random villager who just happened to be passing by. Shocked, Menno wonders how he jumped high enough to land on his Helcro. Koji explains that a certain human-faced gorilla threw him up, but his joke doesn't make the demon laugh. Angered, he attacks Koji with a spell. Unfortunately, the attack only affects Koji's shirt. Surprised to see him completely unharmed, Menno wonders if Koji is the hero. His surprise only increases after seeing his level 999 villager status. Menno adapts quickly, realizing that Koji might be the biggest threat from humanity's side. However, Koji reassures him that he doesn't want to kill the Demon King. He explains that he's friends with Alice, but Menno refuses to trust him so soon. Koji then tells him that Princess Alice is actually resting in the very city he is attacking. Shocked, Menno wonders if Koji is a secret ally to the demons. Koji shakes his head, saying that he's a neutral party. Hearing this, Menno asks why he's still interfering in the battle. Koji asks him if the Demon Lord personally ordered this invasion, but Menno only laughs it off. However, Koji gets serious. He explains that Alice told the Demon Lord is sick. Hearing this, Menno is surprised, since he didn't know about the Demon Lord's condition. Seeing his reaction, Koji asks the demon if the Demon Lord truly gave him the order for an invasion. If so, he makes it clear that he will personally kill the Demon Lord. Menno begins to think, wondering why Koji is so sure that the Demon Lord didn't give him an order. Then, he realizes something. When Menno was in the Demon Lord's Grand Palace, the Demon Lord himself did not speak to him. Instead, it was his closest advisor who told him that the Demon Lord had ordered an invasion. At the time, Menno didn't suspect anything, so he carried out the orders. Still, he wonders why this makes any difference, since the Demon Lord did not object to his advisor's words. At this, Koji points out the possibility that the Demon Lord was somehow manipulated. Menno gets furious, thinking he is insulting his leader's authority. Koji raises a hand in surrender, so Menno decides to turn back and investigate the Demon Lord's condition on his own. Suddenly, Koji starts jumping around and killing all of the Helcros. Explaining that he's just making some money, he continues destroying the entire demon fleet. On the ground, the hero's party watches with shock as Koji takes out each crow one by one. Nearby, some healers ask them for help, so everyone rushes to assist them with the wounded. In the sky, Menno asks Koji why he's preventing him from returning home. Koji reminds him that if the Demon Lord is being controlled, the true mastermind would also consider Menno a threat. In Koji's eyes, Menno should use the defeated Helcros as an excuse to go missing in action and sneak back into the palace later. After saying this, he kills the final Helcro, causing both of them to fall from the sky. As both of them hurtle to the ground, Menno screams in horror. Koji thinks they'll probably survive, but his confidence is less than reassuring. Later, Menno wakes up on the ground with Koji looking right at him. Since demons have strong bodies, it's not surprising that Menno survived. However, he finds it hard to believe that Koji shrugged off that massive fall while being a human. Koji doesn't care about his surprise. Instead, he continues to gather all the coins that fell from the defeated Helcros. Finally realizing that he's not an enemy, Menno introduces himself to him. After explaining that he has served the Demon Lord for 3 years, he wonders why Koji isn't trying to to kill him. Koji explains that since Menno is close to his friend Alice, he would never hurt him. Surprised, Menno wonders why he's so caring towards a demon. Koji thinks he's asking a dumb question. He points out that although demons create mana, they don't directly threaten humans with their existence. Instead, it is the monsters created by the mana that cause both humans and demons to fight each other. In Koji's eyes, people should focus on keeping the monsters at bay instead of being at each other's throats. He then tells Menno that he'll return to him the next day with Alice to visit the Demon Lord's palace. Menno is stunned, since Koji's actions would basically make him a traitor to the humans and an enemy of the demon mastermind. Koji smiles, saying that he's simply fulfilling a promise he made to Alice. Once he leaves, Menno smiles, thinking that his princess has made a strange friend. The next day, Alice thanks Koji for sparing Menno's life. He explains that the demon commander was actually pretty reasonable, so it was no big deal to spare him. Then, he wonders what Takako is doing. Alice explains that she went out to buy groceries for their trip to the demon palace. Koji thinks that he should arrange the transportation before Takako returns. Alice reminds him that it was only supposed to take 6 days to reach the palace. However, Koji explains that 6 days is only possible on the back of a flying crow. Since they have more people now, they'll need to make the trip on the ground. However, ground travel will also be difficult, since they cannot take horses. Alice wonders why horses are forbidden, so Koji explains that they are afraid of demon mana. Although the young Alice can retain her mana with his cloth, Menno's presence will make it impossible for the horses to stay calm. In the end, Koji reluctantly admits that there is still a ground transport they can take. Alice gets excited, so he shows her the transportation method in person. It's actually a centaur carriage, led by arrogant centaurs who consider themselves superior to humans. Despite their tough attitude, the centaurs are literal perverts who would do anything to get whipped. Watching their strange reactions, even Koji feels uncomfortable, so he refuses to use them as transport. This time, Alice also remains back and lets the centaurs leave. Once Takako returns, they all go to Menno's location in the forest. He apologizes to Alice for attacking the town she was resting in, but she forgives him since it was done unintentionally. Then, he also thanks Koji for sparing his life and bringing his princess back safe and sound. Suddenly, Takako jumps in to admire Menno's handsome looks. The poor guy gets terrified of her, so Alice gets offended. She tells Menno that Takako is a good person looking after her, so he calms down. Suddenly, the hero's party pops out from the bushes around them. Now that they've confirmed that Koji is with the demons, they think he is on the enemy's side. Without giving him a chance to explain, they accuse him of leading the demon attack on the town. Facing their accusations, Koji remains completely calm. Kroll claims that she won't let him escape his punishment, so he suddenly appears in front of her. Before she can react, he bumps her head, pointing out that she doesn't even have the power to threaten him. Rex gets angry and tries to attack him, but Koji dodges his slow slashes. He tells the dumb hero to quit flailing around, but Rex remains stubborn. He claims that his job is to destroy the demons, who are a bunch of evil creatures in his eyes. Parna also points out that a lot of people were hurt by Menno's attack. Hearing this, Koji actually admits his wrong. He tells Menno to apologize to everyone, but Menno gets angry. He reminds the humans that the demons have been suffering way worse due to their actions, but Rex refuses to listen to him. He claims that demons and anyone who supports them are objectively evil, which causes Koji to get angry. He reminds Rex that before he knew about Alice's identity, he didn't attack her at all. At the time, he obviously didn't consider the harmless girl a threat to humanity. Now, Koji reveals that she is not only a demon, but also the Demon King's daughter. He asks whether that same girl has suddenly become an evil monster in their eyes. The revelation leaves everyone shocked. Koji admits that the mana released by the Demon Lord creates monsters, so he won't stop the hero from attacking him. However, he just wants the humans to admit that the demons can't control their mana, so they don't deserve to be hunted down. After declaring this, he breaks Rex's sword. As the hero backs away, Tina asks Koji if Menno at least deserves to be punished for the attack. Hearing this, Koji forces the stubborn demon to bow down and apologize. Still, Tina thinks they should arrest Menno for leading the attack. At this, Koji asks the humans for some time, explaining that he needs Menno's help to investigate the Demon Lord's condition. He explains that the demon attack might not have been ordered by the Demon Lord, which shocks the hero's party. Koji tells them that the Demon Lord is sick, and he has always wanted peace with with humans. Rex thinks he's lying, since there's no way a human would know the Demon Lord's intentions. However, Koji reveals that he has personally met the Demon Lord, so he knows what he's like. In addition, he asks the humans if the demons have ever led an invasion like this before. Hearing this, all of the hero party members admit that they've never been attacked by the demons in their cities before. Koji tells them to set their prejudice aside and give his words a real thought, but Parna gets angry. She blasts a fireball at him, saying that he might have been brainwashed by the demons. Seeing that the humans won't believe him no matter what, Koji decides it's time to stop negotiating. Suddenly, he signals to Takako and runs away, leaving the humans outraged. Although they try to chase Koji's group, Tina stumbles and falls, so they are forced to remain behind for her. While escaping, Koji complains to Alice that coexisting with humans is not peaceful at all. She points out that the heroes' party actually listened to him this time, so it was still a win for them. Unfortunately, once they get to safety, Menno brings them a certain transport vehicle. It's the same centaurs from before, who somehow agreed to serve Menno. Unfortunately, as Takako drives the centaurs, everyone on the carriage ends up traumatized for life. Meanwhile, the heroes' party wonders what to do next. Rex feels unsettled by Koji's words, while Parna tells everyone to get ready for a trip to the Demon Lord's castle. Seeing her casual attitude, Rex wonders if Koji's words didn't affect her at all. Hearing this, images of her childhood sweetheart flash through Parna's mind. Her innocent lover was brutally snatched away from her by a demon attack, so she would never forgive them. Later that night, Koji's group sets up camp to rest. Takako reviews their route, noting that they need to stop at the city of Salmeria to rest before making the rest of the trip. However, since Menno cannot disguise his mana, Koji warns him to stay hidden once they arrive at the human city. Then, Koji realizes something. Since Valmon was attacked on the orders the demon mastermind, he wonders if Salmeria is also a target. Hearing this, Menno explains that the previous attacks were just to declare war on the humans. In reality, the demons are brewing a massive army to begin the real invasion. Knowing this, both Koji and Takako realize that the fortress town of Salmeria might be the demons' next target since it's closer to the Demon Lord's palace. The next day, they arrive at Salmeria's gate. To disguise the demons on their carriage, Koji decides to act like he's a magic materials merchant. However, the gate guard becomes suspicious after sensing demonic mana coming from the carriage. Just then, Alice pops out and shows him a blue devil horn. Koji claims that he's got a lot of horns with him, which are the source of the mana. He claims that he's only here for sightseeing with his sister, so the guard smiles. The guard thinks he must be here for the parade, which surprises Koji. He learns from the guard that the demons have been attacking Salmeria, so the Salmerian forces are throwing a parade before they lead a force to fight back against them. Soon, they enter the city, where they catch the parade live. Koji doesn't feel the festive mood, since he thinks the humans are being careless. If the demons attack them in this moment, they would be caught off guard. If Salmeria were truly besieged, Koji thinks there would be no way to talk either the humans or the demons out of the war. To prevent this, he decides that they'll reach the Demon Lord's palace and stop the demons before they get a chance to attack. Takako thinks he's being too reckless. She also wonders what he would do if the Demon Lord were truly behind all these attacks. Koji confidently claims that he'll fight the Demon Lord if this is the case. However, he would only fight as a person on the side of the peacemakers. Hearing this, Alice smiles. Although she loves her father, she wants the world to be at peace, so she also declares that she'll be on Koji's side if the Demon Lord turns out to be an invader. Inside the carriage, Menno faces a tough decision since he serves both the Demon Lord and Alice. In the end, he decides to take Alice's side for the sake of peace. Later that night, Koji notes that Salmeria's west gate is closed as a precaution against the demons. Still, he thinks they'll have to sneak out of that gate the next day to move towards the demon palace. He buys some ice cream for Alice, who finds it delicious. Then, he realizes that they skipped dinner before dessert, so he takes her to a restaurant. Inside, he somehow finds the heroes' party having dinner. Shocked, Koji escapes while the heroes chase after him. After hiding in an alley, he notes a parade demonstration nearby. Alice wonders what it is, so Koji explains that the humans are killing a weak monster to show off their strength to the common people. Out of nowhere, a massive demon jumps out and stomps the weak demonstration monster. Panicking, the humans quickly escape since the demon wasn't part of the show. However, an entire army of hellbeasts jump into the city, and Koji Koji gets a headache, realizing that the attack has begun early. He quickly attacks and kills the monster in one blow. Without waiting, he rushes over to check the other parts of the streets as Alice follows behind. Meanwhile, the hero's party feels frustrated after losing track of Koji once more. Tina thinks they should ask the locals to assist with their search. Rex refuses, so she wonders why. He explains that Koji's loyalties are unpredictable, so if the common citizens corner him, he could hurt them in response. Kroll doesn't agree with Rex. She thinks that if Koji really wanted to hurt them, he could have easily done it in their past meetings. Also, she thinks that he's not an evil person, even if he's working with the demons. Hearing this, Parna gets offended. She reminds Kroll that Koji is on the side of the same species that is attacking their cities. Kroll is startled by her anger, but she explains that when they tried to attack Koji, he simply avoided their attacks. In addition, he only tried to negotiate and never tried to fight back. After seeing his peaceful attitude, she thinks that he might truly be a better person than he seems. Parna still isn't convinced, but Rex also agrees with Kroll. For now, he decides to let Koji go. Hearing this, Parna gets even angrier. She accuses Rex of growing sympathy for the demons, but he explains that he just wants to hear Koji out. Kroll and Tina both side with him, so Parna is forced to consider their thoughts. Suddenly, chaos erupts in the streets near them. Worried about the parade, Kroll runs to check out the commotion. She finds a man collapsed on the ground, about to be attacked by a vicious demon. Thankfully, Kroll makes it in time and protects the man with a barrier spell. The man thanks her for the help, but he asks her to leave him and run for her life. Kroll refuses, saying that it's her duty as a royal to protect her kingdom's people. Under the demon's relentless assault, her shield eventually breaks and the demon roars loudly. It launches a powerful attack at the defenseless man and Kroll. Out of nowhere, Koji pops up and blocks the attack. He praises Kroll for her selfless actions before killing the demon with one blow. Then, he thanks her for distracting the demon long enough to protect the man. Kroll tells the man to escape, so he gets up and leaves. Then, the rest of the hero's party catches up with them. In front of their shocked eyes, Kroll sincerely thanks Koji for saving her life. Rex wonders what happened, so Koji tells him that he just killed a level 231 monster. Unable to believe it, he asks what skill he used. Koji tells him that he used Charge Blow, but this shocks him even more. Normally, Charge Blow is a basic skill, so it's shocking to think that it can be used to defeat a massive monster. However, Kroll explains that she personally witnessed it, so Koji is speaking the truth. Then, Alice also comes running over to Koji. As she hides behind him, Rex tells Koji that they need to discuss a lot of things. Nearby, explosions ring out as the other demons continue attacking the city. Koji tells everyone to forget their discussions and focus on protecting the city for now. Hearing this, Parna wonders whose side he's really on. Offended by her accusation, he firmly declares that he's neutral. Soon, a soldier runs over and warns everyone to evacuate the city. Rex thinks he's having trouble with the monsters, so he offers to fight with the other soldiers. However, the man tells him that the monsters inside the city are not the biggest issue. He reveals that outside, a massive horde of over 10,000 monsters is marching right over to their city. Koji asks the man if he's sure of this information, so the soldier tells him he witnessed it with his own 2 eyes. Tina notes that the Demon Lord's castle is to the west of this city, so the monster horde marching towards them must be made of high-level monsters. Since this is the case, the city of Selmaria is toast once the monsters arrive. Hearing this, Koji falls into thought. Parna wonders what they should do, so Rex suggests evacuating the city for now. Since they cannot fight the monsters at the moment, it's pointless to throw their lives away. Instead, he thinks they should regroup and return to Selmaria later to retake it. Parna and Kroll agree, so they tell the soldier to carry out the evacuation orders. Then, Kroll asks Koji to help her. He nods and tells her that he'll call his friends from the inn. For the time being, he entrusts Alice to her care. Rex is surprised by this, and he reminds Koji that he considers demons his greatest enemy. He wonders if Koji isn't afraid for Alice's life at all. Koji points out that if he really wanted to kill Alice, he wouldn't have warned him in the first place. While Alice watches, worried, Koji reminds the hero that he's the only one who has the answers to his questions. Before he can get those answers, Rex will get no benefit from hurting Alice. However, Parna interjects. She asks Koji what he would do if if they simply don't like his answers. She wonders what he would do if the humans betrayed him and captured Alice as a bargaining tool against the demon lord. Hearing this, he sighs and asks her to keep the girl safe. The heroes watch as Koji humbly trusts them with the little girl. Finally, he says goodbye to Alice and leaves. After that, Parna teases Alice for getting abandoned. Somehow, Alice doesn't think this way. Since Koji trusts the heroes' party enough to leave her with them, she decides to trust them as well. Parna is surprised by her cleverness, while Krull smiles and hugs Alice from behind. Since she has already promised Koji to keep her safe, she reassures Alice that she'll do nothing harmful to her. Krull admits that she also trusts Koji, knowing that the young girl with him is completely harmless. Watching this scene, Parna feels upset, but all she can do is leave. Meanwhile, as the city plunges into chaos, Koji rushes somewhere else. Soon, Takako and Menno catch up with the heroes' party. The moment they see Alice with them, they assume she has been kidnapped, causing Menno to become enraged. Alice rushes over to them, safe and sound, leaving Takako confused as well. Alice can't understand why they don't trust the humans since Koji was supposed to inform them about the situation. Rex wonders if Menno and Takako are the two men Koji went to fetch. Hearing this, Takako gets offended that he assumed her gender. Alice tells everyone that she's a woman, which shocks even Menno. In any case, Takako gets furious at the heroes' party for kidnapping little Alice. Seeing her fury, the heroes almost wet their pants. Krull quickly explains that Koji himself handed Alice to her for protection. She also explains that he was supposed to get his friends from the inn. However, Takako reveals that he never came by. Although Menno is relieved that his princess is safe, Alice wonders where Koji really went. Suddenly, a soldier rushes over and informs them that a madman is out there fighting the entire monster horde by himself. Everyone instantly realizes that it's Koji. Alice understands why Koji left. If the monster horde occupies Salmeria, it would create a permanent hatred between demons and humans. Left with no other choice, he's trying to deflect the monster horde on his own to buy some time. Takako picks up Alice and rushes to the battlefield with Menno, and the heroes' party follows suit. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Koji is exhausted after fighting off an onslaught of countless demons. Despite his incredibly high level, even he can't fend off 10,000 monsters on his own. As the fight continues, Takako and the heroes' party catch up to Koji. Rex wonders why Koji is taking on such a dangerous mission, so Takako tells him that he simply doesn't want anyone to die. She reveals that Koji is fighting for both humans and demons to peacefully coexist, which shocks everyone. However, Rex still points out how reckless he's being. Takako explains that Koji doesn't care about danger at all. Unlike most people, he does not carry a fear of death. Instead, he does his best to fight for his ideals, no matter the situation. As she continues her explanation, Rex watches Koji fighting the monsters. Despite being massively outnumbered, Koji continues to kill enemy monsters, slowly regenerating his injuries with a passive skill. Impressed, Rex wonders why Koji is so determined to fight to the bitter end. Hearing this, Takako tells him that Koji actually has a similar motivation to his. In the past, Rex's family was killed by monsters while they were traveling, so he swore to take revenge on all the demons that created them. Koji faced something similar, as one day, his father was killed by a monster. Throughout his childhood, Koji loved to fight monsters to earn his livelihood. However, as he leveled up, he understood that his villager class was the weakest of them all. Each fight was extremely dangerous, and one mistake could cost him his entire life. After learning this, Koji almost quit fighting against monsters, wanting to surrender his fate to the humans of stronger classes. However, one day, a monster attacked his father and killed him right in front of Koji's eyes. Since that day, he grew a hatred for all monsters. Most of all, Koji hated himself for being too weak to protect his loved one. From that day on, he started training against monsters despite the incredible danger. In the midst of it, Koji realized that the villager class did come with one benefit over all other classes. Although a villager's starting point is incredibly weak, they also gain XP at an incredibly fast rate as a reward for killing even a single monster. With this knowledge, he continued training until he became strong enough to kill the monster that took his father's life. Koji returned home, happy to deliver the good news to his family. However, once he got there, he found the entire village burning and destroyed. It turned out that a group of bandits had raided and pillaged the entire village. Shocked, the young boy rushed to his house, where he found his mother dead from the the bandits' attack. In the past, when a monster had killed his father, Koji swore to kill all monsters as revenge. Now, as he realized that it was a group of humans who took his mother's life, he wondered if swearing vengeance on all humans was the right thing to do. This comparison made Koji realize the error of his previous ways, so he changed the way he thought. Instead of blaming an entire species or group for the actions of a few, he decided to only hold the evil people accountable. Hearing this, Rex admits that he used to think the same way. Now, he realizes that he has also gone too far in his hatred of the demons. However, Krull doesn't think that they should forgive demons so easily. Even Koji told her that demons are harmful because of the monsters they create. Still, he does his best to help both humans and demons coexist. Krull wants to know why Koji is so determined for coexistence, so she decides to help him survive for the sake of her own questions. Behind her, Tina and Parna agree to support her as well. As the hero's party rushes to help Koji, Menno asks Alice what she wants to do. Naturally, she wants to help Koji, so Menno agrees to carry out her orders, even if it means he'll betray the demons. After he leaves, Takako tells Alice to hide while she helps Koji against the monsters. Meanwhile, Koji starts feeling it on the battlefield. Against the endless monster army, even his powerful healing skills are lagging behind. Still, he continues to fight fearlessly, killing as many monsters as he can. After a while, the monsters overwhelm him and capture him in an iron grip. As Koji is restrained, a monster starts charging an attack to blow him up. Suddenly, Rex strikes from the sky, killing the monsters with a lightning slash. Koji is shocked, but the hero tells him there's no way he'll let a villager fight alone. Then, Menno unleashes an attack, wiping out a group of flying monsters from the sky. Takako also charges in, reducing the pressure by killing some more monsters. With everyone present, Koji is surprised that they all came for him. Tina walks over and heals him up, while Parna says that she won't let him fight alone. However, Koji feels worried that his weaker friends will die against the monsters. Krull refuses to back down, promising that she won't let anyone die today. Seeing his friend's determination, Koji regains his own fire. He stands up, announcing that they'll fight as many monsters as they can before running for their lives. With his stamina restored, he rushes in and kills some more monsters. One of them gets him with a massive rock, but Koji remains calm despite his injuries. Tina quickly heals him, wondering why he's being so reckless. Koji smiles, saying that he can be reckless since his friends are covering for him, with every person fighting earnestly on his side. For the first time, Koji thinks he can rely on his friends. That was episode 4. Subscribe to not miss the next part and watch the next video on screen.